All right, people. Hello, welcome in. Welcome in. How we doing? How we doing? We good? Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are going to go over. I don't plan on this being too long of a stream, just considering kind of the topics at hand. Um, I mean, all things considered, we had some good games today. But like as eventful as yesterday, no. Like this, I mean, with how Portugal's game went, with how England and Croatia's game went, like the biggest game, like we had some rain too, which definitely affected the play of one of our World Cup games. In fact, let me take off my glasses because I can tell there's a little bit of a glare. But so that was going on, and then we're at halftime of our fourth and final game. But just because how things are, I want to get this sports stream up and going, and then potentially, if we're done, we can do a gaming stream a little bit later. But I'm glad you guys are here. Let's get into it. We got to talk about just everything that happened today. We'll talk about Portugal and the DR Congo. I would guess I don't want to. Trying to not Dominican Republic, right? I don't know. Which we could even look that up and go, what does the DR Congo stand for? And then we can go the England Croatia game, and then what I kind of wanted to do, just because like thoughts and analysis of each and every single game might not be too much, considering like one of our, I mean, the Portugal game was a draw at one apiece. And then the Croatia game is the most we'll probably talk about. And then the Ghana-Panama game was 1-0. I won't spoil who won it. And right now, with the Colombia game, we're sitting at 1-0 at halftime. So we could do something where I was thinking we go over. Let me pop it up here and let's go to the schedule. What I was thinking is we go over like top matches potentially in group play. Because I know there's definitely a lot of debate. Because personally, I think the biggest match today, not today, but of the tournament itself, was England and Croatia. This was probably the best game of the tournament so far, and the biggest one. Because now we're doing like we're not looking at the end and looking back and going, well, that Norway game was pretty entertaining, or oh, the France-Senegal game was pretty entertaining. Like, I'm talking before we ever dropped the ball with the opener against Mexico, South Africa. We pre-looked and went, yes, this Brazil-Morocco game, this one's going to be a big one. Or we'll look at a couple others, so thought I'd go over that. But let's get into our reactions and a little bit of an overreaction too as well, with this man right here and all the freaking memes that have been going on with Portugal. If, spoiler alert, this game did not go well for Portugal. And probably going to make a video, kind of keep the same energy that I did and have for Uruguay, but then also Spain, where I think all things considered for Congo, this was a win, even though it was a draw. Like it's huge. It's a huge win for them. And then, I mean, let's double check and let's go over standings. I believe, yeah. If where's my game here? Yeah, if like let's say Uzbekistan can come back and tie with Colombia and they win it, Group K is looking just like Group. Is it H? No. Where is it? Nope, not C. Where's my freaking? Oh, it is Group H. Because I was looking for Spain, and then like it just blended in because everybody has 1 point because nobody's been able to win. So we'll talk about that. We'll go over that. So all right, let's get into the highlights. So our first goal was very, 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 very early into the game. I will give credit because Ronaldo was very close on a lot of some of the goals here. I mean, dude's right there. But again, like his touches when you want to go down the stat line, no, not too impressed. But I mean, it is what it is. Like we're just barely getting into it. If you saw what he posted recently, he was like, not the opening of what we want, but we'll move forward and we'll get after it tomorrow. I think I can't even because they were talking about it on all like the post game reactions and stuff, where it's like, okay, we saw what Mbappe did today, we saw what Holland did today. Like tomorrow we get Croatia, we get Kane with England, we get Portugal and Ronaldo. Like, what kind of star power can we see? And it's just kind of funny because I can't imagine. You would think Ronaldo knows that Messi had a hat trick the other day. I know, like, that's probably a guess, and I'm taking a huge leap of guessing, but I would guess he probably knows. Like, holy shit, Messi scored 3. So, which I find it also hilarious. I still have to edit my video, my post game reaction to the Algeria Argentina game, but the biggest thing that I thought was funny and hilarious out of Argentina's victory. Okay, I had to double check and look down. Mike's good, right? We're not muted. How are we looking? Mike's good. But the biggest thing that kind of stood out to me is that right after all the analysts and sports channels and whatever, and network and blah 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 blah, and everybody giving their thoughts and opinions on how, oh yeah, Brazil's a big team, Brazil's gonna play USA or France and Portugal in the final. I find it funny that nobody's looked at like the reality of Argentina could go back to back, which we can also look up. Maybe we could do a little bit of a history deep dive in this stream as well, and look at, okay, back to backs or consecutive finals matchups, meaning like, okay, France and Argentina played last year. Has there ever been a final where the two teams have played again? And then when you look at the history of like Germany and Uruguay and Brazil with how many they have, it's like, clearly they've played each other more than once, correct? So we can go over that. And then the final thing, oh my gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue. I'm trying to, oh, it was there. It was freaking there. We were talking about history deep dives. Oh, and then I forgot to mention, because I failed to mention it, that Messi now ties for the most goals in World Cup play, which is actually pretty freaking insane, with 16. Because Mbappe, and this is a hot take that's not going to be too hot, because of the, like, just considering the age range of how this is Messi's 6th games, this is Mbappe's 3rd. This is Haaland's 1st, and dude already has 2. Goals are not a guarantee, which we can talk about the stat too of this guy right here, because in his last, someone brought it up on social media, but he, in his last 7 international games or something, only 1 goal. It was some crazy obscene stat, like, which we'll look it up. We'll have to, because it was either like the 7 in his last 7 games he only has like 1 goal, or like his last 15 games for Portugal he only has 3 goals, because like, I don't think in the Qatar games, I don't think he had a good offensive outing. I don't know. And then clearly today with no goal, I don't know. We can look at it. We can deep dive into it. But my kind of hot take overreaction a little bit with Messi 16 goals and then Mbappe 2 goals behind him at 14, because he took the lead and then Messi took offense to him, took it right back and said, all right, and I took that personally. But I think maybe when it's all said and done, Mbappe probably might have more goals than Messi in the World Cup all time, but that's only because, I mean, with how many goals he has now, and considering that this is his 3rd game versus Messi's 16, like, I look at it and can compare it to when Tom Brady overtook Peyton Manning's touchdown record, but then Drew Brees overtook Tom Brady's record. And then for the final years before Brady, before Drew Brees retired first. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. Yeah, Brees retired first, and then Brady played an extra 3 years or something. Brees had the record for the most touchdown passes all time, But then because of the longevity of Brady continuing to play, he eventually took the record, which unfortunately, like, only time will tell of football fans remembering that, when it's like, well, here's the thing. When Manning retired, when Breeze retired, they had the record, all things considered. Just Tom Brady beat Father Time and kept on playing. And so comparing that to Mbappe and Messi, like, I think these two could tussle over the record. Because we're still going. Like, they both each have 2 more matches, and then we get to knockout rounds. So they could probably dance back and forth with that. But eventually, like, let's fast forward a decade plus. Because if we're gonna go with the same timeline of, Messi being with the team 20 years, blah blah blah. Yeah, 20 years from now, when it's all said and done, yeah, Mbappe probably might have over 20ish or something like that, over 25. Because Messi's gonna beat it and continue to push it, and then Mbappe's gonna like be slowly trailing behind. Because that in fact, let's pull it up. Let's look at active record. All right. Because look, retired. Mbappe's still active. Messi's still active. I want to look at, see if this has more. No. This isn't showing me what I want. La, la, la. There we are. This is what I wanted to see. Alright, so as we can see, yeah, these two are tied. Retired, still active. Okay, so we have an asterisk for active. Active player year. Whoa. See, so freaking. Okay, next after Mbappe, like Pele, like we know Pele's not he's not playing soccer. But like look at these records: 98, 54, 70, 58, 98, 58, 90, 2002, 82, 2022. But then he retired. Qatar was his last game, and then 82. And here's the crazy thing. So Mbappe has 14 goals in 15 games, and then Messi has 16 goals in 27 games. So don't want to do like a whole process of elimination. I think the crazy stat up here is, well, this is back in the 50s, but like in 5 games, 11 goals. That's actually pretty crazy. Okay. Let me look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How many does... Let's see this stat. 8 goals. Oh boy. Oh boy. He did a hat trick against Spain. Damn, I forgot that. Then 1 goal. Qatar, yes, I remember that. Damn. For those wondering, I'm looking up the Ronaldo stat for how many goals he has in the World Cup. I'm just seeing any other particular active. Okay, here we go. Active players World Cup goals. Active players with the most World Cup goals. Okay. So Neymar has 8, Ronaldo has 8, Harry Kane has 8. That Kane one should update because he had 2 today, which is freaking crazy. Which we'll get into it. One of them, I will go, okay, yeah, ball don't lie, but then the one of them, I'm kind of like, Okay. Well, this is because when you look at all these names here, Messi, Mbappe, Kane, Ronaldo, and Neymar Jr. Everybody, like, you go ask anybody, they'll be like, yeah, this is all of their last cups, and it's like, are we sure? Like, they could probably keep playing. Okay, so that's a long tangent. That was just kind of like a little prediction. That's not too much of a hot take, but yeah, because like in hockey, one of the most prestigious awards, kind of like, with LeBron in the NBA and catching up to Wilt, is like LeBron's longevity was what was able to help him get to that points list. And then I could say the same for Ovi catching Gretzky with his goals. Because, again, 20 plus years. So, anyways. So, in the first... I gotta scroll down a little bit. So, in the first half, that's where all the goals came from. The second half was... Ooh, do we have a handball? No, they're not gonna put a handball. There, no, they won't do it. They won't do it. Okay, are we good? Let's get that. It was, yeah, Congo scored like right before halftime. It was like a buzzer beater. We're in the 50th minute and 43 seconds of a +4 from the 45. So, like, we are buzzer of buzzer beaters. And then this is when they ended up scoring to header to make it 1-1. And I think kind of along the same sentiments and like the same line of thought and process of predictions is there are a lot of expectations for Portugal. One of my long shot predictions, I'm putting Portugal, Croatia, and was it Uruguay? But I'm putting them all kind of like in the same tier of there needs to be a little bit of like, because I think momentum is going to be a hell of a thing. And there's parts of me when I look at this World Cup in some of my like predictions that I've thought about is when we were in the 2014 games, it was kind of expected. Like in 2014, I bet like before with all the brackets and everything and prediction and host country and this and that, a lot of people probably would have predicted Brazil. And then Germany just kind of came out of nowhere. And that was kind of the sense and the feeling that I got when I watched France. When France just kind of kicked everybody's butt back in 2018. And so when you have Germany and Argentina playing the final where it's like, okay, kind of two expected, I want to use the term franchises, but the nations where there is a lot of history behind these teams, like it kind of makes sense that, yes, they played in the final. You skip ahead to 2018 where it was, or you could go back even further to 2010 with the Netherlands. Like I do think the Netherlands and I do think Croatia, they caught momentum and they got hot at the right time, which totally forgot, and I spaced it, that yeah, England and Croatia, they've been playing each other in the knockout rounds in the last handful of years. Like one of the, I believe it was the quarterfinal last year was England and Croatia. Croatia ended up winning, but then they lost to Argentina in the next round. But I'm with momentum where I feel about Portugal, Croatia, Uruguay. I think I put Japan too, but it's like there's parts of me where I think if they catch enough momentum where in their round of 32 they go play, like let's use Portugal for example. Their round of 32 they go play somebody like Colombia or they go play someone like Paraguay or Ghana or somebody. They beat them, and then we're in the round of 16 before which I think the sixth round of 16 is the quarterfinals, or we're in the round before the quarterfinals. We know that matchup is slated where it could potentially be Portugal and Argentina. If Portugal wins that game, so they just beat Ghana or Panama, and then they just beat Argentina, there's parts of me where I think that they could do what Croatia did, where they continue to build on that momentum to where, oh yeah, they ended up playing, you know, Spain or France in the semifinal, beat them, because it's like, yeah, you went through France, you went through Argentina, and then you're against England in the final, and then you have like an England versus Portugal final, where it's kind of one of those, hey, look at this matchup. This is not like a typical one, but like we have a little bit of an underdog team, but it's like it has one of the best players ever with Ronaldo. But like when you compare Portugal's roster and England's roster, you know, look at this. Rebecca Stanwell, I've been yapping, just scored. So we're in the 60th minute in the final game of the day, and it is 1-1. So Group K, I will probably be needing to make a video here. Group K could be potentially all knotted up at one apiece, with nobody winning. Oh. See, that looked like a very decent pass. Oh my gosh. No way. No freaking way. Oh man, that goal, the goalie blocked it, but then it like tipped up off the. That's cool. They're down in Mexico City right now. All right. We'll be watching that later. So, but yeah, in the second half, not too much offense. Just kind of stayed at 0-0. All right, moving ahead now. So, this is okay. Right after the block happened, there was kind of like a ball don't lie moment. I think how England got to this point where they're drawing a foul. Do I think there was a little bit of a flop? Yes. They probably sold it just a little bit, because again, we're all the way here in the box where okay, we gotta flop and we gotta sell something here. So then it went to VAR. VAR was like, yeah, no, we're going to allow the kick. And then is this the one where all right? No, this is the one. So this is the one where there's a rule I can't remember, but again, I'm gonna have to touch up on it. As the goalkeeper, either you can't lunge forward or you have to stay on the baseline. But he moves because he blocked it, and I was like, ball don't lie. Ball don't freaking lie. They flopped. They gave England a penalty kick. Goaltender comes in with a huge, massive save. But then Kane went straight to the official and was like, hold on, Mr. Official. And I believe it's because of his foot right here. I think you have to keep your feet on the line. And that's why you have to go horizontal side to side or something like that. Or either you leave two, or it's a timing thing, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. But again, I'm also under the same, hey, I don't know what the hell an offsides is in soccer. So then we do the re-kick again. Kane puts it in the same spot. Goal. And England's up 1-0. Again, not too much of a fan of like drawing fouls and getting penalty kicks. Like I was thinking about making a meme where, I mean, because Ronaldo didn't score any goals today versus Messi's hat trick, where it's going to be like, you know, who's better, Team Messi or Team Penaldo? Because that's a nickname Ronaldo has, is Penaldo. And so I was thinking, what's a nickname for Harry Kane? That'd be like a, you know, penalty. So I was thinking like Harry, Penny, you know, so Penny Kane or something, because penalty, anyway, something dumb. But it didn't matter because the dude freaking, the second goal. Okay, so this is after Croatia made it 1-1. And then Kane's goal. freaking. He did kind of like a Just look at that header, dude. Look at that freaking header. Oh gosh, what's that? 10? No, that's not 10 feet. That's probably. Ooh, this is probably 5 yards. This is 5 yards. About 10-ish yards away. Not 30 feet. No way. No way that's 30 feet. No. Maybe 20. Maybe a good 25 feet. Anyways, sick header here right before halftime to make it 2-1. Again, this was very entertaining game. Probably the most hyped game. One of, not the most, but one of the most hyped games in group play, because Group L, you go look at it. England? No way. No way. Did Colombia just score? Colombia just freaking scored. Okay, let's see how this goal went in. Ooh! Right through the goalie's hands. So right after Uzbekistan tied it up, I was like, hey, we got a game here. Oh my gosh, it was on the opening draw. It was on the freaking opening draw. No more than 5 seconds later. Oh, that's unfortunate. It was a good block. Goalie got his hands on it, but it just the front end speed of the ball. Chipped it in, and he just not enough. Not enough. Which Colombia's had a lot of good looks in this game. It could be 3-1 right now. Look at that. So yeah, we're in the 65th minute. There's a 65th minute goal for Colombia. I think Colombia. The reason why I have Colombia being the number 2 team here, but again, they're winning this one. They win this. They jump up to the top over Portugal, with probably nobody saw that happening. Watching the Copa America a couple years ago, like the previous Copas, and previous World Cups have kind of like swayed my opinion on a lot of these teams, in kind of knowing like, yeah, these guys were runners up and they took Argentina the distance, so they're probably going to get, decently far until they have to go play someone like maybe England, which again, I could see Colombia beating England. Which, if England played Spain, where's Spain? There's Spain. That could be a rematch of the Euros a couple of years ago. Like there's a lot of outcome. Which I think my prediction. I think I predicted England in that matchup, anyways. But anyways, let's continue. So Kane made it 2-1 after his header. Some of the best goals in this tournament have been headers too. Okay. And now, okay, hold on. Let's scroll down just a titch. Just a titch. Skip. So this was the second goal for Croatia. This is what made it 2-2 right before halftime. So we're in the 50th minute, +5. Like, it looks like, okay, England's going to take this into halftime, being up 2-1, but Croatia came right back to even it up before halftime. And so then we moved to the second half. In the second half, nothing. There was no... Oh, we got a little bit of cramping. Guys, cue it up. Let's get that hydration break going. Sponsored by... No, speaking of... Which I have a joke about hydration breaks too, but I don't want to offend Fox, so I'll keep my mouth shut. Yeah, Croatia's offense, considering what it was in the first half versus the second half, not the same, not ideal. They end up letting this goal go through Bellingham, ended up making it 3-2. And then we fast forward to the final goal. Is this the second one? Like, just look at the amount of, like, everybody hawking it. Like, Kane could have put a hat trick in here. Like, just England's, just the amount of pressure that they put on Croatia's defense. Very impressive today. So then Modric gets subbed off here in the 57th minute. That could be something to look at. I mean, all things considered, because same thing was going on with Team USA. Pulisic came off. I see a little bit of a celebration. Yes. This was the goal. Again, the amount of just open field where we got a straggler all the way down here, and like they pushed the pace, and it was long passes, and we have an odd man rush with the chance. There was a turnover here, but we have five guys from England, 5v1. Well, and the goalkeeper, so 5v2. You know, out of the play, like leverage 1, 2, 3, 3v1 basically. But then we have like the pass saucer, and then these two just dribble back and forth like, no, you take it, no, you take it, no, you take it, no, you take it. And then it's put in the back of the net. And this is in the 84th minute, so this was the very, very end of the game. And England ended up going and moving on, winning this one 4-2. I'm actually surprised with how much England won this game by. 3-2 would have, made sense. 2-2 draw, 2-1 win for Croatia, 2-1 win for England. Just my biggest takeaway from England's victory would be, no matter who won this game, even in the loss, I think Croatia is just that many more steps ahead of Spain, ahead of Morocco, ahead of Brazil. Because I think, well, actually, no, Brazil and Morocco, I'll bite my tongue on that one because that one was a damn good matchup. But like we have a substitution. Rodriguez is getting subbed off. We're in the 71st minute. When I did the quick load, and just because Colombia is not wearing their usual home unis, they're wearing their alternate kits where it's like the bright neon stuff. I thought it was Uzbekistan, because I don't know. I assumed because I'm so used to the yellow jerseys. Anyways, but yeah, some of the alternate kits for some of the teams don't. I mean, they're fine, but they're not like nothing to write home about. Anyways, back to the point that I was having with England and Croatia is with how, I mean, you go look and you see the handful of other. Let's look at the schedule. Like with Spain and Cape Verde, this would be an easy. Well, not only that, like some of the groups. This one, a little bit of this one. This one's pretty even. Like, it's kind of one of those things. Okay, like let's look at Group J for example. It's like, realistically speaking, with how loaded Group I is with Norway, France, and Senegal, it's like you turn and look at Group J where it's like, who's Argentina's biggest threat and biggest opponent in this group? You know what I mean? Versus when Norway and France have to play, that's going to be a huge freaking game, and it's going to get both teams better for their next matchup. And so that was kind of the only, I mean, when Morocco played Brazil, when England played Croatia, when Portugal eventually plays Colombia. Like, those are kind of my thoughts of, like, win or lose, both teams came out a lot better because, like, if England were to go play, if England were to go play Argentina tomorrow, which they're not, but hypothetically, like I think, okay, Argentina wins. Yes, Messi had a great performance with his hat trick. You still played Algeria, and it was kind of one of those things where, okay, you beat a team that you were probably favored to go beat, versus England, where this is a toss-up. Croatia could win it. Anybody could win it. It ended up being a pretty good game because it was tied 2-2 at halftime. And then here comes England, scoring 2 goals in the second half to win this in kind of a blowout fashion, but not really. Versus, well, it was, what was it, 3-0 by like the 60th minute or whatever, in the Algeria game. So that's just my thoughts on that. Take away just the other thing that I could kind of equate it to would be like in football, where if like Texas, when Texas and Ohio State opened up the season, it was a great game for both teams to like get into it, versus this upcoming season, like if the Sooners open up and play like Ball State or something like that, or Ball State or the I was going to say Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt's actually been a lot better these last handful of years. UConn. Well, no, UConn was actually pretty decent this past year. Like a Pac-12 team or a MAC team, like a Toledo or something, like Toledo or Bowling Green going up against LSU. That doesn't give LSU anything. The only thing that is $1 million, $2 million paycheck from the Bowling Green athletic department. It doesn't benefit Bowling Green at all because they end up getting whacked, at LSU. You see what I mean? Versus, well, if LSU opened up their season against like a Clemson or a Penn State, it's like, well, actually, that gets them a lot more ready for the season. So, all right, that's enough of that mixing two genres, mixing football and American football. Very nasty. Nobody likes it. Okay, back to where we're sitting with this game. So, we are up in Toronto, Canada. If I'm not mistaken, probably home of the Sounders, right? Toronto FC? Yes, these guys. This is what I would guess. This is where they're playing. Because the stadium was red, as you can see. So, we have the goal here by Ghana that gets called back. Okay. Again, not, I will never understand what an offsides is versus what's not an offsides. But, wait, what? No. Hold on, wait. Am I mixing up my shit. I'm mixing up my games. Sorry, people. I don't know why I thought, we had a little bit of a scuffle at the end of the match, too. I missed this part. I stopped tuning in. I was kind of like half paying attention, half not. We'll look at that later. Did this lead to anything? Yeah, probably not. Why did I think Panama won this Ghana game? Okay. Boo. Boo. Sorry, people. I got my games mixed up. I thought this goal got called back. Oh, let me go over here. That's actually pretty funny. Hold on. Let me I think one of my favorite things. Oh, there we go. There's the shove. There's a big shove. Okay, so we come over here. All right. So watch over here. So we've kind of been separated, and then we have a shove here, and then here's the big shove. Boom. And that's what gets the yellow cards because both of them got teed up. Like beep beep beep. Look at the ref here, just sitting watching. Which I find it so funny that like, ref, get in there. That's your job. Ref, break them up. And then over here, when you look at the goalie's kicking his feet, all happy and stuff. Like, yeah, I just saved the game. I love the theatrics a little bit though behind flopping and how much they're like, "Ooh, I'm super injured," versus when no penalties called. Because I've noticed that, and it happened today in the England Croatia game. One of the goalkeepers got hit pretty not super hard, but there was contact with a player, and then he kind of flopped down. But because the possession was still going, he popped right back up and got back in his athletic stance, getting ready for the ball. Versus, we're in the middle of the field because it's like I've seen goaltenders flop before too. But like versus we're in the middle of the field and like we have barely a little touch and we have like a super roll or something. It's funny. I find a lot of funny in it. So, all right. Do we have more rainy stuff? I guess we don't. All right. Well, let's get now to the schedule. Let's talk about some of the biggest games, and then we'll wrap up this stream and call it a day, huh? Shall we? All right. All right, people. This is super laggy. All right. Some of it was being super laggy. Others were being just fine. All right. Here we go. How we doing? Okay. So some of the things that I was thinking about rolling into this. I will admit I have not been able to finish up the video, but there are a lot of thoughts that I have on this like World Cup, and I've wanted to do a couple predictions, just like do different variations of videos. Like I've even thought about doing kits, like do tiers of. Let me pull it up because we've looked at some of this through previous streams. Like I wanted to look at all of them. This isn't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So this is only 22 of the 40-ish. I wanted to like rank them off and be like, hey, these are my favorite ones. I'm seeing a lot of people think the Team USA kit is the best one, which I mean, of course. No, I think it's cool. I think it's real good. There's parts of me where the let's do USA stars and stripes kit. There it is. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Sorry, people. That happens more often than you think. I have a super. I have one of the oldies. I have one of the oldie mics and stuff. That is one thing that I would invest in. If I could buy a new mic, one of those where it screws in from the bottom, like you actually physically have to screw it in, because like I bump and mess with this, the cord will like loosen up and pop out. I think this kit is super cool, and I think if we did like a modern version of this, it'd be awesome. Where you put the stars up here and then the squiggly lines for the pants. I think that'd be super cool. This kit is super sick. Where yeah, you put this, yes, but like too bland, too bland. What they ended up landed on looks great. Wait a minute, they wore white bottoms against Paraguay, didn't they? Oh, did Colombia miss? Oh, Colombia missed. Yeah, they wore white pants. But I was thinking these with red trunks would look good. These with blue trunks would look good. Like freaking when Team USA and they had the stars and stripes and the red trunks looked so good. This year when they won gold, they were wearing their blue trunks. Where are they? Well, these are the ladies. There they are. Blue trunks. It looks good. I like these a lot more than their Four Nations. The Four Nations jerseys are cool, but these ones were a lot better. Anyways, their home unis. Yeah, I didn't like their home unis as much. Their away unis definitely look a lot better. I think Canada's jersey would look a little cooler if the stripes were white. Like if the like this looks super sick. So sick. Have they ever done a white maple leaf? I don't know. I don't know where the black comes from, but it is what it is. Alright, back to it. What were we looking at? Oh yeah, kits. So, anyways, it's a cool kit. So we could do. I wanted to do a video on this one time, where we just go over types of kits that I like and what would look cool. I did see that Speed was at the Portugal game. That was funny. All right. But in some of the thoughts that I had on like making videos and stuff, I haven't been able to do all the videos that I have wanted to do. One of which we might even. Well, how much time? So then, if it... realistically speaking, could we make... Because I've thought about doing ranking videos, where it's like, okay, let's rank what we've seen so far. Let's rank who the best teams are so far after week 1. But I'm wondering if we're looking at it from... Wait. And when was the first game on? Like the 15th? No. Oh, one. Oh, it'd be tomorrow. So we have 1 week and then 2 weeks. So on the 18th. So tonight. So yeah. Most impressive team I think so far that's impressed me the most. You can go with Germany because they freaking scored 7. You can go with Cape Verde because they kept Spain with 0 goals. Like there's a lot. So anyway, some of the best matchups that I saw coming into the tournament. Brazil and Morocco was one. Netherlands, Japan was one. France, Senegal was one. England, Croatia was one. Mexico, South Korea. Oh my gosh, this was 6 games. It's insane. Norway, France was one. Uruguay, Spain was one. Colombia, Portugal was one. So those are Croatia, Ghana could be one. I think this one. Norway, France. Colombia, Portugal. Yeah. When you get into like the pretty loaded, like Group F, Group H apparently, Group I, Group L, Group C. That Scotland-Brazil game's getting a lot bigger now. So those were some of the best games that I was thinking of coming into the tournament, just because it is a potential like actual final matchup. All right, now let's go over the great worldwide of sports. Let's go over some other stuff, and then we'll wrap up the stream, shall we? Oh man, Oklahoma won this one. So does this mean Oklahoma's in the big dance? Or no, not yet? Let's look that up. College Baseball World Series. Okay, it is going to be in Oklahoma. Okay. OU, North Carolina. Okay. All right. How'd they win this one? Dude, Georgia came back. Dude, Georgia freaking came back. Look, 4, 3. Wait, 1, 4, 4, 1, 5, 1, 5, 3. 7th inning. 7th inning and on. Five runs in the 8th and 9th inning definitely did not help. Well, actually, 6 runs after the 6th inning didn't help. All right. Out of Oklahoma and North Carolina, though, I have no freaking clue. No clue who'd win that. All right. Huh. Who would have predicted that Trae Young doesn't want to be on the Wizards? Who would have freaking predicted that? It's almost as if the Wizards were just a stepping stone for him to move to his next team, like Boston or Miami or Milwaukee. I don't think he'd go to the Knicks. I don't think he'd stoop that low. Hey, let me go join the team that just won it all. Here, let me close out of this. I forget, what is... Oh, this is going to be the first. It's going to be North Carolina's first ever World. Nope, not World Cup. World Series. All right, NFL. Let's go over some of the news in the NFL, which I haven't made any NFL videos. I need to. I've been dropping the ball, guys. Sorry. I've been super invested into the World Cup and watching the game, so I have not given any of my thoughts and reactions to what's going on here with Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield, which they gotta tighten that shit up now, because freaking let me go. Okay, Dolphins, Jets, Cowboys. I could see the Cowboys making a reach. It would be a reach, but oh no, never mind. I'll just list them off. Because there were reports where they were talking about if the Eagles aren't satisfied with this season and the Ravens aren't satisfied with Lamar, they could do a Hurts for Lamar trade. And it's like, wow, we are deep into the offseason if we're talking about that stuff. But Miami, New York, maybe Dallas. Minnesota. Oh, look at that. Columbia just scored another one. To put the staples on it. Is there going to be a buzzer? You know what I like? I like how in soccer, I like we've had like 3 walk-offs. I would consider this a walk-off because they're going to place the ball, kick it, and then ref's going to blow the whistle. Like, I like the idea of like the final possession where it's like, get a good chance. If it goes out of the back, we'll blow the whistle. If Uzbekistan clears it, we'll blow the whistle. We've had a couple good walk-offs. Well, and back to the point of like what I was thinking a little bit earlier with the thoughts of, hold on, whoa. Must be a certain time if the night light's coming on. Wait, what? With just preparedness and the games. So Colombia wins this one 3-1, but the level and magnitude of their win versus England taking down Croatia 4-2. I think England's win today was a little bit more impressive. Well, we are in the 10th minute of the +8. I guess the ref's just letting them play. Oh! Wow, that went bar down. That was... Holy frick. Other than the goals scored, are they going to blow the final whistle? They're letting it go. We're in the 100th minute. There we go. There we go. Now it's over. No, that was... Holy frick. I'm not going to keep the stream going to have it play up. But dude pulled up from about 40 feet away outside of the box, and it hit the top of the post and down. Well, that's that. That's that. Colombia on top. Portugal sitting in third place. All right. From that point, it probably goes alphabetically anyways. All right. What about that too? What if we have two teams that are tied? So, like... Yeah, what if your points are the same and then your point differential's the same? Where do you go from there? Yellow cards? I don't know. Oh gosh. I'm trying to think, what was another? Oh, back to, sorry, NFL teams. Okay. Yeah, Dolphins, Jets, maybe the Eagles, Vikings, maybe the Packers, Browns, Steelers once Rodgers retires, because that's something that's been talked about too a lot, and it's been just kind of just firing around where it's like, yeah, the Steelers would trade for Baker Mayfield. Not the Titans, not the Jags. And if they did the Jags, it would be a quarterback for quarterback trade. Falcons, Panthers, Saints, and Bucks. So anybody in the NFC South. It'd be just like with Jacksonville, it'd be a quarterback for quarterback trade if Herbert went to Miami. But well, my bad, Tampa Bay. It makes no sense, but Cardinals, yes. And yeah. So there's a handful of teams that would pay top dollar to go get him. So hopefully they work it out. They probably will. Speaking of Justin Jefferson, did you guys hear or look and see like his comments? He got caught up in the middle of giving his impact on who should be the starting quarterback, and he was like, "Well, it's up to the coach," which totally agree. It's looking like it's potentially going to be Kyler Murray, so there's that. We're not going to read this, but if you guys can look at the title. I wonder why. No vehicle, no vehicle in within a 2-mile radius is safe. Finals most watched since '98. Game five peaked at 33 million. Bullshit. Peaked at, hold on, wait, sorry. I read this wrong. With an average of 20.6, it peaked, averaged around 24.5 with the peak. Show the peak. The audience peaked at 33 million as the finals MVP Jalen Brunson was putting the Raps on a 45-point performance, which again, closeout game, very comparable to Giannis. So then why, hold on, if that was what the peak was, why do people keep saying, oh, NBA ratings are going down? Clearly not if 30 plus million people are watching. Holy shit, someone on the Jazz is getting paid that much. That's impressive. You know, if I were to pull up all the NBA teams, I would say the Nets, the Raptors, Trailblazers, Jazz, Kings, Pistons, Pacers, Bulls, Hawks, Hornets, Magic, Miami too. Miami did not want to pay Butler. Wizards, Pelicans, and Grizzlies are probably the most cheapest teams in willing to make big moves. I mean, like, yeah. All right. Let's go to the MLB. We got some games that are live right now. I haven't looked. Excuse me. I haven't looked at the MLB standings in a while. And then the Golden Knights got their starting goalie. They're going to go with Craig, who was part of the Vegas affiliate in the AHL. He's been promoted to the head chef in the kitchen. Yeah, those are some of the big stories going on in hockey right now. Which, maybe I'm wondering if they won the cup, would they have extended and like kept? I don't know. Okay, now we've already gone over with the final here between Uzbekistan and Colombia. These were all of the matchups today. Portugal and the Congo tied at 1 apiece. England, with their impressive win 4-2 over Croatia. Ghana defeated Panama very late in the second half, 1-0. And then Uzbekistan lost to Colombia in the second half by a score of 1-3. So. Ugh. Shouldn't be yawning this much. Alright, people. We are going to wrap up the stream here, but I thank you guys for hanging out and watching and tuning in. Not too much else to cover in the sports world. We already also went over college baseball and talked about the college bats, so... Where would, let's do, hold on. World Cup. Hmm. 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 Just so you guys can see what I'm doing. Because freaking. Yeah. Alright. Ooh, no. After today, I'd probably take Colombia. Spain and I'd take Spain. Take the United States. Yeah, it keeps putting Argentina and Uruguay in round one every single time. So it looks like it's going to be Argentina and Uruguay in round one. Hey, look, the two flags fighting. No. I actually today figured out the difference between both of them. I didn't know the difference until today. Alrighty. So from here, we're going to go from what I've noticed recently and from what I have seen recently in the first week. This is a tough one, but I'm going to have to go with France. All right, so now we are in the quarterfinals. Semifinals. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't see them playing each other again. I really don't. I don't know how it keeps. England and France didn't England and France play didn't they battle each other one time in a World War? No. England did impress me, but I don't freaking know, man. I don't know. I'm trying to. Ooh. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Oh my freaking gosh, man. Yeah, it keeps putting it in the. And I get no matter what, I can't get these two teams to play different alike. It always pop. Well, and even this one could go this way, because of their performance. I don't like it, but it is definitely there, and it's loud and open. Loud and out in the open of, hey, yeah, hey, I'm a clueless American big in the United States. Just tap it in. Just tap it in. All right, people. We're going to end the stream here. I thank y'all for hanging out. Yeah, this one was fun. This was super fun. So we will. I gotta make a video. Give my thoughts and reactions. So stay tuned to that. I'll go watch the highlights again and try to find other things to critique on what I noticed out of the Croatia game today. But anyways, thank you guys for hanging out. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!